So I'm interested in knowing how you feel about how certain organizations go about determining who will sing the national anthem at their events.
Interesting question. I would like to know. I would love to know. Probably the same people that give the people the Oscars.
You've seen what Roseanne.
Oh, yes.
She sang at a Padres game 30 years ago, and maybe that's the first time I remember seeing something where I actually looked at it and thought to myself, why? Mm-hmm. Why? Mm-hmm. The Dallas Cowboys, I know, have, I don't know, for maybe the past 30 years, at least on Thanksgiving Day, they have a trumpet player that plays the national anthem, and it just makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck to hear the song played properly, professionally, and in a way that causes you to stop and pay attention. Mm-hmm. Recently, however, it seems that they want us to stop and pay attention for a different reason. How terrible can you be?
Oh, no.
Are you going to tell me that in the first game of the Women's Professional Baseball League, they're going to have somebody come sing the national anthem and they're not going to have them audition?
Oh, no. Are you talking about this recent, what is her name that sang it?
Martha Reeves.
Yes.
Formerly Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. They had two, at least top 10, I mean, maybe even better, songs back, I don't know, maybe in the 1780s. Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. Mm-hmm. All right, it rings familiar because two very recognizable songs, Heat Wave and Dancing in the Streets. I mean, yes. We all hear those songs and we get to it,
Iconic. Mm-hmm. Not the same voice.
She's 85 years old.
Oh, bless her heart.
This was possibly the most unintentionally embarrassing rendition of the national anthem I've ever heard. She actually had two backup singers who were desperately trying to sing the song, and they were, for what was going on, doing a pretty good job.
So they were cringe.
Oh, cringe. Think
trying to make up for it.
Think of the most painful, self-inflicted thing you could do to yourself without attempting to, in order to just not have to endure what you're seeing or hearing. It was
painful.
That's an understatement.
Oh, no. Yeah. That's unfortunate. And it was the first game?
The first game
of the women's
ever.
Oh, my gosh. Well,
of this new professional women's baseball league. And that's what they'll be known for. They'll have to get over it.
They will. There's been some crazy performances of our national anthem.
Yeah.
And then there's been some absolutely brilliant performances.
There have. I'm getting to the point where I'd rather hear it played by a professional instrument.
Like instrumental.
Instrumental.
And let the crowd sing.
Instrumentalist. Yeah. Just
that's a great idea.
With the trumpet, one note, you can't play but one note at a time on a trumpet.
The melody, and then just have the crowd sing.
The way it was written. Mm-hmm. All this, I don't know. I don't want to get into politics or anything, but all my national anthem and your national anthem and this national anthem and that national anthem, and, well, that one doesn't resonate with me. Well, the answer 5 doesn't resonate with me when the question is, what is 2 plus 2? Mm-hmm. Because it's wrong.
Right. Well, I think when you, it's our national anthem.
It is.
It's our country, and it's a big deal. And when you hear, bless her heart though, 85. I mean,
I know, and I don't want to bang on her.
Sure.
But
the people choosing,
you can't help how old you are, and you can't help that you're not as good as you once were.
Right.
And not nearly as good once as she ever was.
As you ever was. That's right.
I'm spicy today.
Well, spicy's good.
I'm a little spicy.
That's nothing wrong with spicy.
Yeah. But I'm tired of hearing counterfeit performances that are coming out of what should be professional performances of the national anthem. The song that makes us stop and think about who we are, how we got here. And it's a fabulous story. It's a heartbreaking and heartwarming story. But speaking of counterfeits, I'm in the process of writing book number 2 called The Pursuit of What Matters. And one of the things that I'm really chewing on right now, and I'm kind of rolling around in it, is how many emotional counterfeits people in general are engaged in and don't even know it. It's kind of like sometimes when you hunt, you shoot an animal and they'll run for a very short period of time. And the statement is they're dead and they don't know it. You know, the bullet or the arrow has pierced their heart and it's no longer beating, but they have a few steps left in them anyway. So I want to ask a couple of questions. And for those of you that are joining us today, I want you to contemplate these questions. And here they are. 3 of them, actually, not a couple, a few. Couple always means 2, right?
Correct.
Few is 3 or more.
Or more.
Okay. When is it not a few anymore? That's not a fair question. I'm gonna admit that.
Well, I would
right
say
up,
like if there's 10 if there's 10 of something, that's more than a few.
It is. What is 9?
Yes. I would say after 4 or 5.
Maybe a handful.
And then it becomes a handful.
Beyond a handful,
Yes.
it's more than a few.
That's correct.
I can get with that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. How do we copyright that? I mean,
Good question.
quit saying a few if it's 7. For crying out loud.
It's 7.
Don't you know?
It's a handful.
Yeah, don't you know that more than 5 is not a few?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows that more than 2.
Is not a couple.
Correct.
Right.
So it just needs to be a thing.
I think we just established it.
Done.
Out loud and on purpose.
On purpose.
The podcast has just established what a few means.
Yes.
3, 4, or 5.
You are spicy.
If it's more than a handful, it's not a few.
Woo.
This is important stuff.
Yes, it is.
It is. All right. Let me get back to emotional counterfeits. I'm being a copyright counterfeit right now because I don't know, but
You're making me laugh.
well, I mean, the only thing I've copyrighted is my new book,
Yes, you
Out
have.
Loud and on Purpose, Kickstarting Your Intentionality, which actually, at the time of this taping, comes out this week.
Congratulations
At
on
least
that,
that's the
by way.
expectation. Once we see the preview copy, we'll know. But if you are hearing this and you were not aware that my new book, Out Loud and on Purpose, Kickstarting Your Intentionality, is available to you at Amazon.com and anywhere. I can't even commercial for myself. And anywhere you buy Kindle books. So I think that pretty much is limited to Amazon.com.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I just commercialed
Didn't
myself
Amazon
into a
used to be
corner.
Kindle?
didn't
Or Amazon only sold book? Or
I?
what?
Kindle is part of Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're in the same family. So anyhow, all right. So there are 4 counterfeits that I've identified that I'd like for us to kind of just discuss and see where we go with it today. But there are some questions that I had written down that I want to ask. And here's the first one: what do you reach for when you first feel empty? Feel like whatever is happening or whatever you have isn't enough? What's your go-to? Question number 2: what's your default when life feels off? On a day when you're spicy. Or otherwise. And the third one: what do you think is helping you, but something in the back of your mind says it probably isn't? But you picked it up to help you. You started it in order to help you, and you've developed a habit of doing it, but there's really no evidence that shows that it's helping you at all. Now, I don't have the answers to those questions for anybody else.
Right.
But I think they're introspective questions that people ought to ask themselves.
And yeah, that's right. Because they're I don't want to say deep, but they're honest. Like when you answer these questions, you're getting honest with yourself.
Yeah, and you may have some honesty to get with somebody else too.
Yeah.
With other people,
Right.
because these questions refer to habits that we have that are our go-tos when things don't feel right, when we feel like we're not enough, when we feel like we failed, when we feel like we've been rejected. There are a lot of things that happen to us that cause us to feel less than. And I think the thing that we've got to identify is that our identity is under assault and under attack when we do these things that are they're fakes. How much of what we look at on the internet, on social media, anywhere we look right now is real, and how much of it is fake? It's hard to know.
It's very hard to decipher sometimes.
I can't sell anything on Marketplace without somebody or several somebodies attempting some type of a scam. And people don't have any reservation whatsoever about misrepresenting themselves, because as anybody that knows me knows, I believe we live in the most sociopathic culture that our world has ever seen. Maybe since Sodom and Gomorrah, since Noah's Ark, when God decided he was going to destroy the earth because there were no righteous people. And I wonder what's coming next. I mean, he promised that he would not do that again. So how do you stop the madness? I don't know. I'm not God and I can't even think like God. But here's my first counterfeit point, and I think it may be the biggest counterfeit of all, and that is pleasure that pretends to be peace.
That's a good one. That leaves a lot of room for a lot of things.
It does. It does, because there are a lot of ways that people seek pleasure, and I don't think the reasoning behind any of it is new. The methods may be new. Eating Tide Pods, things like that.
Yeah, Tide Pods.
That's been a minute. But it is so easy to somehow think that the things we go after in order to find pleasure are actually a coping strategy. If I feel better, the situation will be better, right?
Yes.
Or at least I won't care for a minute.
That's more.
Yeah.
It'll mask it for the moment, for when it's heavy, when it's hurting, when it's whatever, insert answer here. And it's like for the moment.
Yeah. It's so I don't have to feel it right now.
And that can turn into long term.
Oh, it can. This is one of the things we say about addiction.
Right.
Is that it's an attempt to do one of two things: to feel better or to feel nothing at all.
To just numb out.
Yeah. So, obviously, we just blew the lid off this. Addictive type activities and behaviors are at the top of the list. Can you think of any?
Oh, drugs, alcohol.
Yeah. Food.
Mm-hmm. Scrolling.
Okay. Let's be careful now.
Is that a...
You done gone from preaching and you started meddling. Yeah, a lot of addiction. Shopping. Mm-hmm. I wanted to see what it felt like. I wanted to know how to bid on something on an online auction the other day.
Oh, my goodness.
I didn't expect to buy anything. And I thought, okay, I'm going to bid while this item is low so I can see my name on there and see, and so I bid on this item when the price was low, and the price stayed low.
Oh.
And I won an item I didn't even really want.
Oh, no.
And I thought to myself, oh, my, I just got the most amazing deal until the item arrived at my home yesterday.
Was it not what you thought it was?
I overpaid.
Oh, no.
Let's just say I overpaid. Yeah, I overpaid just in shipping.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll get you there.
This item came from a sweatshop somewhere and is probably worth 83 cents. I don't know. It has some electrical components to it, but So things like food and scrolling and shopping and sex, these are pleasurable behaviors that we think are going to help us find peace. And momentarily, they help us feel better, or like we said, in some situations, nothing at all, but they don't find the peace. They're not a coping strategy. So let's establish that as number one. The key point being that none of these things are automatically bad, but they become counterfeit when they're asked to do the job of creating peace. Pleasure is great as, the seasoning, like on food, the seasoning is great, but it's not the dish. It's just something that accents the dish. So pleasure is great as an accent, but it makes a terrible foundation on which to live your life or to be your go-to coping strategy. If that's your best coping strategy, you're in a world of hurt. There are things coming your way that you can't even possibly imagine, and they're not going to be good. So counterfeits.
So why do we keep going back to that if it doesn't work?
Great question. Great question. Well, it does work. It just doesn't work for what we want it to. Mm-hmm. And we'll go as far as saying it works just enough to be convincing. Mm-hmm. Because pleasure feels good.
Right.
Pleasure feels better than whatever the alternative was, which felt sucky.
Right.
And there's just enough convincing in pleasure that I'm going to feel so good when this is done, when this is over, that we'll go back to it time and time again. I mean, this, what's the definition of insanity?
Mm-hmm. Repeating the same thing over and over and expecting a different result?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
expecting a different result. And think about all of the things that we do over and over and over again. And all they do is keep us crawling back to them to do them again because it didn't change. But what pleasure does is it takes us out of accountability. It takes us out of responsibility. It takes us out of duty. It takes us out of these roles just for a minute.
Dopamine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's like a dopamine.
Dopamine, serotonin, and all the science things, and all the juice we have inside of us.
Right.
Dopamine juice and serotonin juice. And
so you get that hit of dopamine, and then that eventually levels out. And then you go back to said life.
You didn't do anything to change your circumstances.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. So pleasure that pretends to be peace. So here's a second counterfeit, and it's distraction that looks like rest. Ooh. This is a big one because we're all prone to being distracted. And we all, I would say, for the most part, ask 10 people, today, let's say mid-afternoon, do you feel more energized right now or do you feel more tired? What are you going to hear?
The latter.
Yeah, tired. So we all are looking for something that will give us a little, it sounds kind of oxymoronic, but give us a boost to our rest. Because a boost doesn't sound restful, a boost sounds energized. But to make our rest more productive, to more effective, more efficient, I can take a 15-minute nap. I can lay down and go to sleep for 15 minutes, get up and feel better. I don't know if I am in the majority, I don't know if I'm the exception or the rule, because I've heard other people that say, yeah, I can do that and it's good for me and I wake up and I'm energized and I'm more productive than I was. And I hear other people say, if I lay down and go to sleep and don't sleep at least 2.5 hours, somebody's going to pay.
Right. And that's me. I understand that.
Yeah.
I'd rather just stay awake.
Yeah. And I can't even imagine sleeping 2.5 hours in the daytime.
Yeah.
That's
precious time.
It's unfathomable to me. Right. And it's not that I'm any better than anybody else and more efficient with time.
You're busy.
I'm busy. And
it's precious time.
If I lay down and have all afternoon to nap, I'm going to sleep 15 minutes and I'm going to get up or lay there thinking I should be up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My brain makes me do it.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to miss something.
Yeah.
That's me.
Got a little FOMO going on there.
Toddler.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing we need to identify, though, is there's actual rest and there's just numbing out. And I think that's what these distractions do, is they give us, and some of the things that I listed there, to begin with, the food, scrolling, shopping, sex, substance abuse, various types of entertainment, some of which you can show your children, some of which you can't. Those are numbing out kind of things. But there's also things like travel, gambling.
Ooh,
I hadn't thought about that.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one. And one for me, if I'm kind of in a funk, I think TV can become one of those distractions that makes me feel like I'm resting.
Especially now when you have your streaming services and you can binge an entire season of said show.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Really?
And it's real easy to do that.
Like all at once?
All at one time.
I can never imagine doing that today. I haven't done that today.
Not today?
No.
Well, there's still a couple hours left.
I have not. Yeah, and a new show, well, not a new show, but a new season of one of our favorite shows came out yesterday. And I was so excited to just start watching it. It's one episode a week. So disappointed. I just never can remember. But see, we say TV makes us feel like we're resting. And there's probably an argument for it. But I think I go through more stress trying to decide what channel to watch.
There's a lot to choose from.
There is, and people like me and probably you, to talk to our kids and our grandkids, when we were kids, there were 3 channels. And you had to walk up to the TV and change the channel manually.
Oh, yeah.
Our parents used to abuse us this way. Maybe it was better that way. I will say this. What's better now is not just the availability and the quantity of types of things we can watch. What's better is that if we miss it, we can get it later.
Correct. I
But
agree.
back in the day when the Waltons were on, when Emergency, Squad 51,
When you had to wait to find out who shot JR.
I know. And okay, so we found out who shot JR, but so what? You don't get to go back and watch it again.
Right.
And that was what, 1980? Mm-hmm. Maybe 81? I don't remember. It was 80 or 81.
Yeah, it was early 80s.
So, but the ability to go back and look. So anyway, here's what rest does. Okay. It restores while distraction delays that restoration. Being distracted is doing something else in lieu of what we need to do to actually become restored. Rest will leave you more present and available and cognizant of what's going on in your life and around you, while distraction deepens the fog.
So if I were to say reading a book, crocheting, doing a puzzle, is that rest?
It's restful.
Mm-hmm. But not necessarily what you're talking about that is a distraction.
Yeah, it depends on if you're avoiding.
Okay, that's what I'm getting. Okay.
Yeah, am I doing this in lieu of what I ought to be doing?
Gotcha.
Am I doing these things in order to avoid having this conversation with my spouse?
So it depends on intention.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does.
Gotcha.
Am I doing this because I don't know what to say or do? Am I doing this to put off the preparation for something that needs to be done? Am I doing this instead of things that need to be accomplished and achieved? Now, not everything can be about accomplishment or achievement, but we're not going to enjoy the distractive types of things. These aren't bad things, most of them.
Right.
They're not bad things. But if we're not caught up with life, if we haven't addressed the things going on in our lives that need addressing, we can't fix them all at one time. But are we addressing them? And if we're not, they're still like apps running in the background. Mm-hmm. And no matter how much television we watch, no matter how much travel we do,
it'll still be there when you get back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of what are we avoiding? And it's easy to call something self-care when it's really just avoidance.
Yes. Yes.
So,
it's like a joke. It's a joke. People say that and you have to, it's like, oh, I get it. You're not really talking about self-care.
Yeah. And what if I am I'm going to spend the evening reading?
Mm-hmm.
What a horrible thing to do. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe it is if what I need to be doing is calling my father or speaking to my grandchildren or, preparing for an event that's coming up. What am I putting off because I'm doing that? Not always anything. But if I am, then it's a distraction that's not restorative.
Well, and it is so easily accessible to scroll or to read a book or to anything that could be distracting. It's very accessible. Mm-hmm. So it takes a lot of self-accountability, I think.
It does. And sometimes we say we're taking a break, but we're really just postponing the hard thought. Mm-hmm. What's a hard thought? It's the thought that there's something I need to be doing and I'm not doing it. There's something I need to be working on and I'm not working on it. Maybe if I'm going to read a book, what I need to be reading about is improving my character rather than the last Dash Riprock novel.
Dash Riprock.
Ooh, that was a Flintstones reference, wasn't it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Now that you say that, I was like,
where did that come from?
Somewhere in that brain of yours.
Man, I don't know. I don't know where that came from. Dash Riprock. I was trying not to say a real fictional novel character's name because I don't know. I don't know about copyright things and getting in trouble.
I think you're safe with Dash
on the interwebs, so. Yeah, he's not a real person. Of course, neither are fictional characters. Man. So you want to know how to tell the difference?
Yes.
In whether you were participating in a distraction or participating in rest.
How do you tell the difference?
It's how you feel afterward.
Oh, like if you feel guilty?
Possibly.
Or if you feel like that was well-deserved and you can move on with said task.
Yeah. If you feel refreshed because you're caught up, where your accountability is concerned, then I think that you can say it was a good choice. But if you are in the middle of a bankruptcy and, you need to have a part-time job at night, but instead you find all these other things to do because you need to relieve your stress, you're probably not catching up on your finances. Sometimes doing the hard thing makes us a little more physically tired, but it's great for the soul. So you were just lifting your finger as if maybe you have to go to the bathroom?
No, I had a question.
Oh, wrong finger. Okay, go ahead. I didn't mean that either. That's not right.
Okay.
Boy's not right.
So my question was, this is great. This is good stuff. How do you apply these? How do you get out of that loop if you are almost ruminating in whatever stress you have going on, and your distraction as rest or as whatever else? How do you get out of that loop to going to that particular coping mechanism versus making a change?
That's a reasonable question. And the one thing I would encourage anybody to do, because what's happening at that point is you are the 3-year-old who's been told to go clean up your room, and it's knee deep in toys and animals and stuff. And your mom will say, look, I've picked up the dirty clothes out of there. You don't have to worry about what's dirty and what's not, but go clean up your room. And the parent goes back in there 30 minutes later, and the 3-year-old's sitting in the middle of the floor, singing, having a conversation with a dinosaur in knee-deep toys, and nothing has been done. Why? It's overwhelming. For a 3-year-old, that's overwhelming. That's more than they can comprehend having to do. So what we learn to do in that situation as a parent is break that job up. And, do you want them to learn the responsibility and the accountability of keeping their own area clean? Of course you do. So as a parent, we say we need to chunk it, not throw it out. Well, sometimes that's the solution too. But chunk it, break it into pieces, into chunks. What I would do with Adam, my oldest, when he was on the struggle bus with his room, is on Saturday morning while we were spending our couch and cartoon time between, during the commercials, I would bet him or dare him to go put 6 things away. Or I think it was 4, and then he would come back flying in halfway through the commercials, land right in the middle of my body, which is why I can hardly move now, and say, I put away 6 things. And then we would snuggle and cuddle for the next 8 minutes. And then another commercial would come along, and I would say, 6 things? Really? Think you can do that again? I don't. He's gone, like shot out of a gun. Hour and a half later, the room's clean because we broke it into little pieces that he felt like he could do. Things he felt like he could do.
It was
I didn't
a game.
want it to be fun, but I did want it to get done, and I didn't want to do it. I was tired of doing it, and he needed to learn. So we're no different as adults. When life gets overwhelming, when we're beyond stressed and now we're overwhelmed, we get paralyzed. We see the things that we need to do and say, I don't know even the first thing to do in terms of fixing this problem or solving this dilemma. B, it's so big. I've spent so much time making this mess that I don't see me being the solution. I can't fix it. And so we begin looking for things to distract us so that we don't have to feel our identity being crushed by the fact that we're not handling our business. So what I would encourage anybody to do in this situation, I don't care how old you are, 3 or 83, you can't fix most things like this by snapping your fingers or making one decision, but you can do one thing. And I don't know what that thing is, but you can do one small thing. And you probably know what it is that you need to do. Do that thing today. Tomorrow, do one more small thing, or maybe 2. I bet you can't do these 2 small things during the next set of the commercials. I mean, play a game with yourself. I don't know. I would smile to myself if I had that thought. And then I would go, the memory is a sweet one. This is the same kid who, whilst wrestling in the floor and giving me a noogie, said, Dad, your hair sure has a lot of skin in it. So he's not dumb. All right. He was overwhelmed. And the same thing happens to us. So we've got to start looking for very small ways. Small wins is what we're looking for. We're not looking for 0 to hero kind of stuff.
I call those baby steps.
That's exactly what they are.
I call them baby steps. If I can just get step 1 and get through step 1. But gosh, that's tough. Gosh, it's so hard.
It is.
It's so hard.
It is. But you can do it, Bob.
I appreciate your confidence in me.
It was a reference to a movie.
I don't even know. Who's Bob?
What about Bob?
What about Bob? I've never seen it.
The movie?
Who's that?
And the therapist wrote the book called Baby Steps.
No, you're speaking Greek. Who? I've never heard.
I'm going to have to reconsider my show host.
No, don't do that.
Yeah. Well, when we come back next week, Amy may be with us
Oh, I'll be here. I'm going to watch What About Bob?
Oh, you may be here, but you may not be in this room. You're probably beating the door down.
I'm going to watch What About Bob?
While I do part 2.
And I'll be prepared.
Of this here podcast on emotional
Don't worry, guys. I'll be
counterfeits.
here.
We'll see you guys next week.